generations. Much can be learned from past generations. For past generations write history. They become history. The past may have already been written, but the future awaits a new generation.
Oh my God! It's SmackDown versus Raw!
Hi everybody and welcome to a very special podcast from the dream team of TVM. It's me, your usual host Rory, and Big Danny Franks. Don't know why I'm pointing over there because it's going to cycle through everything. CJ Caesar himself, Connor Franks. How's it going, guys?
It's great. I'm back to offend the millions of people.
And millions!
In front of the millions! And millions!
Say millions, we know it's going to be one in particular.
Yeah, look, guys, I'm just here. I'm not here to upset anyone. I'm here for good times. I'm here for happy times. It's all love. When Connor's around, it's all about Valentine. I hope you guys love it.
Fair enough. And I'm sure we shall. So, today's podcast, we've got a few things we're going to go through. We're going to do obviously the SummerSlam preview, talk about the Vince McMahon news and some other general wrestling news as well, like the reshuffling. What do you guys fancy doing first? Do you want to go straight into the preview, or do you want to discuss the wrestling news first?
I think we need to discuss the news first. There's obviously SummerSlam match card related news, and then there's obviously the biggest news in wrestling, which I know has been covered elsewhere, but I think we need to talk about that because what's been talked about backstage in WWE is that changes are already coming, and some changes are already underway. So I think we need to discuss that before we go into the match card with possible outcomes based on the new hierarchy. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Well, so obviously we've just alluded to that news thing. The biggest news is that as of Friday last week, Vince McMahon officially retired. He was under investigation for a while and was on a sabbatical sort of thing, in suspension, wasn't he? But then he's now officially announced his retirement at age 77, which is mad that he got to that age without retiring, because everyone expected it to be over a decade ago in general. And but at the same time, when it got past that point, everyone thought he's not the only way he's going to leave the WWE is if he either sells it or passes away. So it's a bit surreal to be living in the age where he has actually just retired.
It is. Like I said, about a decade ago, there was that point where every week Raw had a celebrity host. Yeah. Nothing major or nothing enjoyable was really happening in the card, and so it felt like a transitional period.
Yeah, they were getting ready for something, especially when they did the Donald Trump buying Raw storyline that lasted for all of 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. That it just seemed like that could have been all right. Maybe whether it was the McMahon character disappearing or Vince himself, but then once that all passed and we have sat through everything we've sat through for the past decade, it definitely felt like the only way Vince was going to step down was when he wasn't around anymore.
Yeah, and I say, obviously we say that from a place of love because, we all unanimously love Vince McMahon, to be fair. He is awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate going on online from former wrestlers and, former WWE superstars and, your standard toxic internet wrestling community.
Would that one of them be Ryback by any chance?
He says he hates everyone, to be fair.
Yeah, Ryback literally
absolute prick. Absolute.
And I bet you would come on here, even though you said that, Daddy. I bet we could get him on. Ryback, we would like to openly invite you to join us, but then we probably wouldn't actually let you on because you're a bit of a fucking Fruit Loop. So, anyway, continue, guys.
We do have things in common. We're all fat blokes, so feeding us more is just... Let's be honest, we all wanted that T-shirt. Exactly. I just finished off a pizza.
Aha! Wow, I have you trumped there, sir, so I have my frazzles. And I have a pizza.
Respect it.
Nothing compared to that Christmas one that we had where I opened that present from you and it had something stupid like 60 bags of sweets. Yeah. That big box of 60 Haribo. When we got halfway through and you were just like, how many have you got left? None, mate. They've gone.
It took you like half an hour to eat 60 bags of Haribo.
I know.
But no, with Vince,
if I'd have filmed it properly, I'd be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, probably. The Vince stepping down is big news. We're not sidetracking too much. I've already got someone to comment. So, with a video I've got releasing on the channel soon, I feel like that one joke needs to just stay as the one joke.
Yes, completely agree.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, just be careful in case you're, your dick showing.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason the camera stops here. Yeah. Vince stepping down is huge news. Everyone knows it. Regardless of what the community or former superstars have to say about it, wrestling, especially in the West and for Western countries, that WWE's their primary viewing account. He's the reason it's here.
Yeah.
Say what you want, wrestling. I've made this comment on like social media to many people who've been slagging them. People who say wrestling hasn't been good since the Attitude Era. Vince has ruined wrestling. Nothing's been good since the Attitude Era. Rock Austin was the thing. Okay, well, Rock Austin happened because of Vince.
Yeah. People
who've been saying, 2005 was the best era, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, that happened because of Vince. Don't get me wrong. I'm not brown-nosing. For every great thing Vince has given us, there's a lot of... There's Katie Vick. There's...
Hell in a Cell 2020.
Hell in a Cell 2020.
Hell in a Cell 2020.
When we decided we were going to do a wrestling podcast about WWE, and that was the very first pay-per-view. And then immediately after, we're not doing it again.
We did the podcast and we were all like this. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
It's not great. But like I said, don't get me wrong, for every good, for every Rock Austin, we've got Katie Vick. We've got, do you remember those weird segments in the 90s of the, like, incest family? I can't remember what they call off the top of my head.
Beaver Cleaver.
Beaver Cleaver. Oh, Beaver Cleaver.
It was Mosh and his mum.
Yeah, exactly.
That actually was it, Danny, as well. I don't know if you remember. It was magical.
Genuinely, that was the thing.
Like, there was also Mark Henry giving birth to a hand and banging old birds and stuff.
Yeah, but
he didn't give birth, but Mae Young. Sorry, yeah.
We can all agree that's up there with Rock Austin.
It is.
But there's there's countermeasures on both sides. But regardless, whether you love something, you found something hilarious, you hated something, you thought something was really cool. The shoot promo from Punk, guess what, guys? Wouldn't happen without Vince. Punk, the summer of Punk, Cena Punk 2011 wouldn't have happened without Vince.
CM Punk being viewed as a main eventer wouldn't have happened without Vince.
Without Vince. Don't get me wrong, like, Vince got his hands on that rebrand of ECW and killed it, not in a good way, right? But Vince has done everyone clamored for Punk's return, made the AEW return one of the biggest news in wrestling. He got to that level. Don't get me wrong, your ability carries you to you have the ability to get somewhere. But Vince made the call.
Yeah.
Nothing in the E gets the green light without Vince. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that he's retired. It's sad in the sense he's given his whole life to the business.
Yeah.
Literally, the dude barely takes a day off, and it's bad that it's taken him basically being forced out. By the board of directors for these accusations, but the plus side, we need to be thankful for everything we've got.
Yeah.
Thankful to what we've gotten. Thankful that we've now got Stephanie as CEO.
Triple H as well.
Triple H back as EVP and head of creative is huge news. Nick Khan as CEO, which I'm not going to lie, I do kind of feel like Nick Khan is going to be Vince is going to be in his ear.
It might be,
the little bitch boy sort of thing.
but the thing is, with Nick, if Vince is in Nick Khan's ear and that's Vince's way of still trying to have some kind of control, there's now enough people to outvote him.
Yeah.
Which is good. So if any overly Vince idea does come in, everyone there could just be like, no, but thanks.
I want to point out as well, with you just mentioned Triple H as head of creative, one of the things that we've all consistently said on most of our wrestling podcasts for the last 2 years.
Triple H to take over, yeah.
Well, we've been saying about how great the NXT was under Triple H.
Yeah.
There was a point where it's like, oh, what was the best thing on wrestling? So, well, NXT, clearly. And, you know, we'd have that conversation. And we've had conversations where we've been saying about how difficult it is to get into AEW when that's the alternative and things like that. So Triple H being made head of creative when we've seen what he can do with NXT with relatively unknown guys to the larger audience and such, it's been brilliant. So I think it's in good hands to a degree.
Yeah, so. And I think Vince's stepping down has been in the works for a while. We've seen certain changes in, and this could just be all speculation on my part, but it seems to me that for the past, we'll say, month or two, that your main shows especially haven't felt like
filler.
They haven't felt filler. They haven't felt like Vince's standard way of doing it. Obviously, we've had Vince on screen with Theory.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think this might have been the run for a long time, because I know you can't have Austin at Mania without McMahon getting stunned, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But that just felt like it's like almost like Vince knew for a fact this was his last Mania to be able to be on screen.
Yeah.
So it could have been in the works for a long one. It could have literally just been accusations, board meetings. You need to go before the company gets the brunt of it. But Vince has stepped down now. The shares when Vince stepped down went up 6%, which I find quite amusing. Which means by Vince McMahon retiring, he earned more money.
I know.
because the shares went up. And of course, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting because now this is where the internet community gets to shut up or put it. We've all said, you know, Triple H in charge is going to be, that's where it changes.
Yeah.
Now we find out.
Look at how awesome he made NXT. Hopefully he's going to do the same job with Raw and SmackDown. So.
Yeah. And I think as well with this week's Raw in particular, because at the time of us recording this, we've had two shows under the new regime, because it was Friday when he officially stepped down. I don't think Triple H was announced as head of creative immediately. I think it was like the next day or something. So
that wasn't that long ago.
No, so Monday's Raw is the first one that's had Triple H as head of creative, and while there's still some stuff that feels like the same old Raw on there was lots of fresh things, like from a production standpoint, that made it feel like a new beginning. Like, for example, everyone's complained, like not just the three of us, but like the internet in general, everyone else that does a wrestling podcast usually complains about how Raw always starts off with a talking segment. This week we got them trying something new where as Raw came in after the opening credits things, Miz and Logan Paul were just battering each other, not in like a normal. It was literally just
they were brawling. It's perfect.
Yeah, rolling around and everything. It's great.
WWE's like illusion is that show to show, it's a rolling product.
Yeah.
Right. There's not a previously, it's a rolling thing. So having it start and then something already happening, the crowd already going crazy, makes it seem like it is this constantly constantly living, breathing product. That's just every time, you know, like we used to get, and my green screen's going crazy. Like we used to get where, you know, the show would start and they'd be talking, ladies and gentlemen, just 10 minutes ago in the parking lot, Ken Shamrock jumped Austin. We've got that was.
Yeah, I miss all that.
Yeah, that was like incredibly frequent in the Attitude Era and things.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people who wants the Attitude Era back. The culture in the way.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that they can't
wouldn't
fly.
work. It wouldn't work. Like.
Too many offended people these days, would it?
Yeah. But the plus side, the plus side is I think.
Steroids and I'm crashing.
Okay,
fair enough.
Back.
I was going to say.
So I think it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. I'm hoping. There's also the thing I saw in the news. I can't remember the source. Forgive me, but now there's a lot of AEW talent that are considered.
I've seen that have been saying that they would have gone back. Yeah,
which they're now open to go back. There's a lot of AEW people's contracts run out in 2020, which is interesting. Don't get me wrong. There's some people who I don't really care about not just in the WWE, and I'm sure, if they came the other way, they might be rebranded or made to keep my attention. But that's what the case. I would feel like, off the top of my head, the Revival, FTR, would be one of them that came back.
They thrive if they can. Yeah.
The whole reason they left was
as good.
That whole stupid get up that Vince wanted them to wear.
Yeah.
That was like the straw, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think as well, since Ciampa's still there and we've got Gargano's been a free agent since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Imagine if they just went.
That's the thing I was going to say. Gargano's always said his return isn't dependent on anything. It's just when he feels the time is right.
I'd love to see Adam Cole back.
I don't think that will happen. Their contracts are long term.
Although there is a comment from someone that left NXT and went to AEW, but it says it's an anonymous comment that I read, and they basically said if Triple H had been put in charge of the main roster and going up underneath Triple H was an option, and he would have gone there instead of that. It doesn't specifically say who said it, but I think it's going to be someone like Adam Cole, Sean Spears, Keith Lee, those sorts of people. Yeah.
Well, I think
there's a handful of them where you think they'd be thriving on them.
If there's one thing I want Triple H to just sort of go all in on, obviously there's a lot that we want improved. For example, I think he said it might have been the Stone Cold thing he did a few years ago. He said if he ever got to that point, he'd want Raw to go to 2 hours. Yeah, that would be perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
we all want that, but the problem is that's not just a decision you can make.
No, because it's the deal with the networks.
You've got the deal with the networks and all that thing. So it could be a case of, I can't remember what channel Raw's on right now. Is it Fox? Or is it?
No, SmackDown's Fox.
USA.
USA,
yeah.
Yeah, so it could be a thing where their contract that they've got now is till what? We'll say 2024. Maybe 2024 they get a new one with the USA because USA seems to like to keep them on there. And that's when they go, okay, we'll give you this, but we want our show 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Right. That would work. But the one thing I want Triple H to really go in on is what he did in NXT, the tag division.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a bit lacking, isn't it? Yeah.
Vince doesn't really care about the tag division. He pays a lot of attention to it about once every 3 years.
He seems to what was the reputation was that he liked the tag division to build one star out of a tag team.
Build one star out of a tag team, or he'd job the tag division to a thrown together team just with the end goal of splitting them. And then
when you used to hear say the Miz and Morrison bickering over who's the Jannetty of the tag team, that was because that was a bit of a joke on the actual culture within WWE of one of you's being the Jannetty now and jobbing to the other one to put them over and then doing nothing. But we saw it with Crime Time, who were a great tag team, didn't get the tag titles or anything, split up before it was too soon, and then they had Shad and JTG feud for a while. And then I think they were both released after 2 pay-per-view matches against one another.
Shad was released first, and JTG.
Shad was released first.
Shad was released first, and JTG floundered on Superstars and main event, and then went. But just like that, Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, Enzo and Cass is another example. Yeah.
Oh, Triple H, bring them back.
I know. Yeah, I was just
bring them back.
That's someone I'd love to see come back.
Yeah, and the thing is, Big Cass or Will Morrissey, as is now known in Impact. He is in ridiculously good shape, and his matches in Impact have actually been quite good. It's just a shame that no one's really watching Impact that much anymore.
Enzo I'm pretty sure Enzo's got a few his own business, but he also does indie shows. Yeah. So him and Morrissey have been doing, or Kaz XL as he's called when he's not in Impact.
When he's with Enzo,
yeah, they've been doing indie shows, so they're still clashing. But as I say. W. Morrissey, you can find our interview with W. Morrissey on the Team and Media channel.
That's true, you did, yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Nice cheap
you forgot about that. Well, we won't be getting him back. So there's, that would be great. Obviously, like anything, you can constantly be like, oh, they should bring these back. They should bring these in. It's not really much point because it's not that simple. No. But ideally, like to bring them back, especially if they're going to make the tag division matter.
Yeah.
Then bring back Gargano, put him with Ciampa, DIY on the main roster. Beautiful. Yeah. Enzo and Cass again, beautiful. Even if it's just for promos, love to see it. Actually have some tag team, because right now it's the Usos and
Street Profits.
Yeah,
that's like the triangle.
Oh, and the Viking Raiders have now been getting a bit of a.
They've been healed. They've been feuding we'll probably get that instead of Riddle Rollins.
Yeah, we could do it. There's the pre-show match or something like that.
They haven't been doing pre-show matches, have they?
Oh yeah, they haven't for a while actually, have they? No.
They have done them all year.
They've got the Riddle versus Seth gap, and you can't tell me that match was going to be 4 minutes long.
No.
Put them together and just be like, look, you guys, you've been going at it. Here's this. There's plenty of, I'd be okay with them because I don't know if. Let me have a quick look before I comment because let me have a look. We've got United States title. Well, no, there's no IC title match.
That might be added on Friday.
Who's the IC?
Obviously, we've got SmackDown still. I think we're going to get Shinsuke versus Gunther added because that's what they're building to.
Oh, wasn't that already confirmed ages ago? No,
it wasn't. I thought they did a thing of that Shinsuke had to beat Marcel Barthel or whatever he's called.
Kaiser.
That's it.
And then he did beat
Kaiser won.
No,
and I think he beat him, and then Kaiser beat him in a rematch. So it's not confirmed. Well, and they did this thing where they were both on the stage. It was a brilliant segment because Gunther's been motivating him by chopping the shit out of him. Yeah. They were stood on the stage, and obviously Kaiser's won and everything. And then Gunther's there looking all intimidating. Kaiser looked like, oh fuck, he's gonna get me. And then Gunther lulled him into a false sense of security so that he'd celebrate. So he's there with his hand behind his back all proudly, and then just got chopped into oblivion straight away. You just saw like tears. Magical. But so I think that's going to be added. They're just sort of going, will they, won't they, for a while.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'd like to see at SummerSlam, whether it just be an appearance to make the crowd pop to show that he's here. LA Knight. No, Max Dupree. LA Knight. Yeah. Because then we get to see, holy shit, it is LA Knight. He's on the main roster.
Yeah.
Have him interfere in a match or something.
No, I don't think you need to do that. I think you could just have him walk past somebody who's
someone backstage or
whatever
whatever
brand he's going to be on. Have him walk past. Let's think. Look, I was about to say Bobby. I don't want him to feud with. If Bobby wins the US, retains the US title, or Volta retains the US title, I don't want LA Knight to feud with them straight away. It wouldn't work. But you need to have him walk past somebody, or even if Theory's getting an interview and he's got the briefcase or something, have LA Knight just walk past.
Have him feud with Corbin or something.
Have him
just instantly dismissed. No.
No, I think that'd be a feud.
We're not doing that. And then just carry on. That needs to be a thing. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, at the time of recording, it's Wednesday. We've still got SmackDown on Friday, and then obviously SummerSlam is on Saturday. Hopefully, we get the Volta Shinsuke, and then that gets given
the time for Riddle and Seth. Yeah, that's probably why they've held off on it. They've probably got it as a floating match just in case or something, which we've seen them do before on certain pay-per-views.
This is something I hope they stop now that we haven't got Vince, is that all titles should be defended on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
All titles. I understand you've got 24/7. That don't need to be done. We can bin that now, guys.
You don't seem to see Cruiserweight anymore either, do you?
That's because it don't exist.
They unified it with the North American.
Yeah, it don't exist.
All right. I thought there was still a...
205 Live still exists, but the Cruiserweight doesn't.
Don't have a title. So it's a pointless show. It's only there because it's on a network.
Right.
Speaking of the Cruiserweight title, though, another little tidbit of news. Kushida's in Impact now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That's the scope of the news. Kushida's in Impact now. I think he's someone that because he left WWE on account of his reasoning was he didn't see him going any further, sort of thing. But I think he's the sort of person that Triple H would happily pick up the phone to, and he's the sort of person that would easily be welcomed back in by Hunter, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting of what's going to happen, but. What we covered, Vince has stepped down, Triple H taking over, Riddle, Seth not happening, AW seeing some AW talent, seeing WWE is now an alternative. Now Vince is gone.
Raw's already seen a few little changes to production. Although one of the things that I didn't mention, instead of them doing the standard thing of, again, like this ties in with the opening segment of them basically having the guys brawling already. One of the things that always used to bug me was when they'd have an ad break in the middle of a match, and you'd come back and the match would be virtually how it was before the break, and you're like, they've had 5 minutes of one guy just resting or whatever, or playing up to the crowd instead of doing anything to continue. And then if there was ever a spot of action, that one spot of action would be shown on a replay, and it'd be like 5 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Whereas what they've done now is, because the thing there is that you'd think that the matches would just continue regardless because the guys are supposed to want to win. It's not stop. Whereas what they did on Raw was there was certain matches that started during the ad breaks. So you're coming back from an ad break and a match was already in progress and everyone was already mid-swing and stuff. And I thought that was, even though it's annoying that you missed the beginning of the match, because there's no real way of winning in this thing anyway. But I still thought it was good that it was like, yeah, you've got your set ad break times. We're now doing away with every segment must end ready for it, or we've got a pre-done thing. It was literally just, no, they're already tearing each other apart. And you know what I mean? I like that.
Again, that comes into the thing of they've always wanted WWE to be the constantly flowing.
Yeah, like, and that makes it seem more like it.
But yeah, they contradicted that by always having the ad breaks, either a match finish for the ad break or a match be happening in an ad break and they just sit down for it a while.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that they're actually trying to make it seem like it's just non-stop, which how it should be. It's how it used to be. You used to come back and, you know, someone's in the middle of a stalling suplex and here's what you missed in the break, and the little thing comes up and you'd have like Brian Kendrick doing a suicide dive off the top and then like a big
and everyone's dead for a few minutes, but fair enough, he's done a suicide dive in.
Like it all sort of would be the same thing in a ladder match when you get that one person who does a shit belly flop onto 7 people, hits 4 of them, they're all dead. Like that's because that's
the domino effect.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, one of the wrestlers can take 10 chair shots to the head and not drop, but because Kane's fallen backwards and bumped his shoulder on you, you're out wrestling. But it's good. I'm sad to see Vince go. I know probably in the minority, but I'm sad
to see him go.
I'm also excited to see, to see what the future entails, because this is, like I said, it's been a situation everyone's been saying, well, what if Hunter was in charge, or what if this? The time's come. Let's find out exactly what's going on. And I've been enjoying the last few pay-per-views. I'm excited for SummerSlam, and I think we should start talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that is
Rumble. Since Rumble, every pay-per-view has been good, hasn't it?
Yeah, but they did have to make up for that shit show of the Rumble.
That's what I mean. It seems like they've stepped up the game because they realise how much they fucked up, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. They let Shane back. That's what happened.
Well, that's what they.
And Bad Bunny. Don't forget Bad Bunny.
At the time was Well, apparently the problem with the Rumble was mainly down to Shane rebooking it on the day, wasn't it? That's what the rumor is, and there's also reports that have come out, especially now that Vince has retired. More people have been talking about that situation, and one of the quotes was, Vince told everyone Shane's never going to get a pop in this company as long as I'm around. So that's apparently one of Vince's rules. So now the other thing is people are like, what if Shane comes back now?
Do you know what? Shane could come back. Have him be the general manager or something.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Have him be the general manager again. Have him have a feud for Mania. That's fine. Every now and then, maybe have a match at a SummerSlam or a Rumble, but don't let him have any creative control.
Yeah, that's essentially what they need to.
WWE have gone from having too many authority figures to none. Don't get I know we've got Adam Pierce,
and Sonya Deville.
But I don't know. Adam Pierce doesn't. I know it just doesn't seem like he's an authority figure. He does. I know he makes the matches and stuff, but it just.
But I like that about them.
Yeah, but so, I don't want him to be overly doing of like the heel authority figure. And
exactly. That's why I like Adam Pierce. Is literally
Teddy Long.
He's making the matches. He's there.
Teddy Long.
Enough. Teddy Long was the same sort of Teddy Long was the same, but more personality.
More personality. He came out more and was like, "No, you're not doing this. You two want to do this. Guess what? Match tonight."
Guess what? 1-on-1 with the Undertaker player or tag team match. Then obviously Teddy Long dance.
Exactly. That's how it should be.
Holla, holla, holla. That was part of his theme. That wasn't an inappropriate comment. Before anyone wants to jump on those. Holla.
All right, SummerSlam.
Already gone back to our usual default setting of tangents.
Yeah.
Because joy.
Right. I'll lead us through the matches.
Okay.
We'll start with cheeky little prediction league.
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? All right. Rory, do you want to write things down?
It's fine because I'm going to be editing this video. I'm going to bring up your.
Okay.
I've now got the ability to put your predictions on the screen.
All right, cool.
But whether I can be asked to do that is another thing.
Oh,
but I can do it.
Well, you're gonna. And for those at home, let's just test out his ability. I know I'm currently on his screen. I'm the one talking. Connor predicts someone will be offended by this video. Is it here?
I reckon
it's
going to say the name.
Is it
Because we release it on Valentine's Day.
In Team Venom, every day is Valentine's Day.
It is.
Because we all love each other so.
Yeah, that, and also the fact you
we all loved it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and also the fact you can't let us go. So until I make my little video, we're just gonna be shooting the breeze. But now I will lead it through. We'll start with. I'll leave all the title matches to the end.
Okay.
So we will start with.
There's only actually three non-title matches, isn't there? Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add the Intercontinental, though. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm also hoping. We'll talk about that match. Let's start with Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin.
Okay. I think personally, I want Pat McAfee to win. Corbin's one of those people that I know is talented, and I used to like him as the lone wolf, but he's had that thing of like they forced him down everyone's throats too much as a heel to the point where no one actively cares about him. So I think he needs freshening up to the point where, not in yeah. It's just, I think if they gave him like the lone wolf sort of persona again and built him back up. I mean, like we had earlier this year, we had Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. And it was great for Madcap Moss. Everyone wanted to see Madcap Moss win, but no one cared about Happy Corbin being involved in that. So, but I do think Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin has the potential to be a really good match, but I can see it just going to Pat McAfee. So that's my prediction.
Okay, well on the other end, I'm going with Happy Corbin because he's my man, he's my dude, he's my good time boy. I love it. I care about Corbin. Fuck you.
Okay.
Rory. How about that?
Fair enough.
Okay. He's my dude. He's great.
You know that we've had a little argument just now over that. Does that mean you're going to start DMing all my friends, family, and partners and stuff over something minor and inconsequential? Because apparently that's okay according to previous contributors.
Yeah.
Which is not, because the police agree that it's not. That's all I'm saying. So
that's a little teaser for the official video that will be releasing in the next week or so.
Noted as restraining order.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Daniel-san.
Hi. Oh, sorry, I was looking for my bin. I can't remember where I put it. Yeah, I'm going for Pat McAfee. I absolutely love Pat McAfee. He's great on the commentary team. He brings so much energy. His match with Theory was great to watch in Mania. I didn't used to like Corbin. I did as a lone wolf. I've started to like him more a bit recently. But McAfee's got that little bit of edge for me on it.
Fair enough. I'm going for Corbin. I just think you can't have. I know McAfee had the War Games match. I know he had the Theory match. Okay, I know he's okay in the ring. But I feel like you just can't have him constantly winning over full-time talent.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm pretty, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure McAfee is technically undefeated in the ring.
No, he lost to Vince, didn't he, at Mania?
Yeah, but do we really want to count that as a match?
I think they can't, is it?
Look at Vince's fucking stunner. We don't want to
Vince's
remember.
last match.
Yeah, but to be fair,
want
Vince's first stunner was like equally as bad, so at least he was consistent
that is true.
with how he closed out that whole thing.
Yeah,
He started how he meant to go on.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah. I think McAfee can just keep winning over full-time talent, even if you want to say that Vince thing. he then lost to someone who hasn't had a match since 2016 or something, when Vince was in a handicap match or whatever it was.
I thought his last match was Punk, wasn't it?
God knows. So I feel like, and I think
someone probably pointed that out to him, and that's why he had that match.
I know Corbin as well is like, he's good friends with us, with Hunter. He's also one of the guys who, no matter what he's been told to do,
he's done it. Yeah,
he's ran with it, right? Which should be rewarded. Yes, I don't know if I'd like to see the Lone Wolf back, because I think Corbin's gone to the point now where, not in the same degree as Jericho, but he's got that constantly evolving character.
Yeah.
So I feel like going back.
I'd love to see Jericho back.
Going back to the Lone Wolf just wouldn't be good. Have him turn into another serious competitor, and that would be great. But I feel like going specifically back to the Lone Wolf wouldn't be great, because, in my opinion, anyway, the Lone Wolf wasn't a gimmick.
No,
he was the Lone Wolf, and then didn't he have like the Forgotten Sons at one point?
Yes, yeah, at one point, yeah.
Not a Lone Wolf.
And then they were the Knights of Corbin, weren't they?
Yeah, something like that, God knows. But even still, I think he needs to become a serious character, wear wrestling gear, and just go for it. But I just think McAfee needs to, as much as I love McAfee, and I'll cheer if he wins because I like him in the ring, but I think it just doesn't look good on your full-time talent when, for a former NFL kicker and full-time commentator is getting wins over him.
Coincidentally, have you seen that at one point? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. At one point, they were on the same NFL team.
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, and this is probably.
I'd like them to actually bring that up on for the feud and stuff properly, and show like a montage of them being all pally and stuff like.
Yeah,
I'm running through the streets and then
the SmackDown
barbershop style.
No, to the original SmackDown versus Raw intro.
Yeah,
a lifetime.
It shows them like just slapping each other on the arse as they're about to like throw a ball.
That's what the montage is. They need to have on SmackDown them just start slapping the piss out of each other, and then before the match you've got the montage, and towards the end as the music beats dropping, they're slapping each other's asses, and then it just transitions from the arse.
That'd be great, but it starts off with like that "Tell Me a Lie" Shawn Michaels thing from the mid-90s. It's like where he's doing everything slow motion with the pair of them like running across the field, throwing a pass to the other, catching it, and then like cuts to like the Baron Corbin when he was taking the piss out of Pat McAfee by doing his commentating the other week and stuff, and jumping on the table, which to be fair was great.
Oh yeah,
they should do it, and then turn them into a tag team. Sod it. We were just saying we need more tag teams. Put them as a teams.
If McAfee went full time and wore wrestling gear, because I know there's exceptions, but people not wearing wrestling gear and wrestling really bugs me.
Oh, shots fired, Rory.
Yeah. Oh no, I maintain it. It really bugs me.
Yeah.
Some people I can understand, like Dean Ambrose. I got it. But I think that was more a custom, because Dean Ambrose's gear wasn't that different to Shield. It went from being black military trunks to jeans and a black vest to a white vest. Right? It wasn't that,
Yeah.
But in general, it bugs me. Like, look. Was it WrestleMania? Was we all on call WrestleMania, or was it just me and Danny?
Me and you, and yeah.
Logan, when Logan came out, what's the first thing I said? Holy shit, he's wearing wrestling gear.
He had that Pokemon thing.
Wearing wrestling gear. Cool. If you're a celebrity coming into it, go all out.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment. And if you're someone who, like McAfee,
did he have like a lucha suit on or something?
He had like tights on, didn't he? And then he had like a black.
But they matched the Miz's gear and stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
But
so they did look like a tag team, which is the thing. Yeah.
If you're a celebrity,
doing all the Eddie stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a celebrity and going into it, go all out like Logan did. And if you're full time in the company, like Pat McAfee is on commentary, there you go. You're in this world, so embrace every bit of it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on from that because we've got 2 for
7
McAfee.
more matches.
2 for McAfee, 1 for Corbin. What else we got? Oh, another one. Logan Paul versus The Miz.
Yeah, Logan Paul's winning that, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'd like to say The Miz, but Logan Paul is. They've just signed him. It'll be a big win because of his. Because as much as I don't particularly care for Logan Paul. He's got a massive fan base that's bigger than the WWE's fan base. So the crossover potential for them to bring new viewers in is there, and you can see why they'd give him a big win, and you'd see why they'd let him do that.
Well, this is Logan Paul as well. He's not been quiet about signing with WWE elsewhere.
No, it's a high-profile signing, isn't it? So
on Sunday, a YouTube group called The Sidemen, that's what like KSI is in and all that stuff. Yeah. They did a real-life Tinder video with Logan Paul in it and his friends, and in that video, Logan Paul's wearing his Logan Paul WWE belt that he was given when he signed, and he's mentioning to the girl in the Tinder, I'm a WWE, like he's doing it. So they're going to appreciate that. They're going to reward that because he's not just.
It's like Bad Bunny as 24/7 champion when he turned up on everything wearing it, and everyone appreciated the hell out of it. And
exactly, he's not being WWE superstar Logan Paul, but only when he's in WWE. It's wherever he is, he's mentioning it. WWE will appreciate that. Logan can actually go in the ring.
Yes.
So I'm okay with that. He can go. He can actually wrestle. I think it will go to Logan because I know it's the same argument of Pat McAfee if he can't keep getting wins, but it was the Miz who got the pin. Then it was a tag team match. It wasn't just like he soloed Rey Mysterio or anything.
No, this is it. And the person that he won with is who he's facing. So
exactly, there's a decent storyline.
Yeah.
And also, it's the Miz who can afford to lose these kind of matches.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Miz is at that point where you don't need to give a shit about the outcome of his matches, unless he's winning a title. When, rightfully so, when he won it, when he cashed in, and me and you went ape shit.
Oh hell yeah!
Because it's awesome to see that sort of stuff. But I mean, he's that level of performer where, when I say you don't care about the outcome of his matches, that's not a knock on him. That's a compliment
it's not going
to
to
him.
Affect him. He's at that.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
He's at the level of thing where unless
wins
it's like
and
a world
losses
title
don't mean
match,
anything to him. Yeah.
Wins and losses don't matter. I'd also like to see the Miz win one more IC title while he's there and bring back the
classic style.
Either the classic like Razor Ramon style,
or the attitude.
The white one again.
The white one, or the like early 2000s.
Or they hybrid it and we get the early 2000s one with the white strap.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with
it. Might work. Might be terrible, but who knows?
Let's find out.
So anyway, I said Logan Paul. Who are you guys saying?
I'm saying Logan too.
Logan as well, yeah.
Yeah, so clean sweep on that one.
Yeah. All right. The Mysterios versus Judgment Day. No disqualification. Tag team match. I'll take this one.
Yeah. Is that because we're all going to have the same sort of prediction of why it's got no DQ?
It's going to be no DQ for one of two reasons. We're either going to get Dominic turning on Rey.
Yeah.
Joining them properly. Or it's going to be, because Rhea Ripley's back, she's going to come down, dick kick someone.
They've said that it's Damian Priest and Finn Balor with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, so, no DQ, even the odds, blah, blah, blah. Either during the match or after the match, we're going to get this, whatever the new/old version of Edge is.
Ooh.
Get him to return to that.
Edge and Beth Phoenix.
I don't think
we said that, though, didn't we?
Me and Danny were talking. I was like, Edge should return and have Beth Phoenix with him full time. The issue there would be the kids. They have young children. They couldn't do it.
But they could set up. They could set up like another match like they did at the Rumble.
Yeah, but even still, I'd want Beth to have Edge be where he turns up every couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna have him in a full like title program or something, or he could be there for a few weeks, pay-per-view, a couple of weeks break.
Yeah.
However he's coming back, it looks like he's coming back kind of a mixture of all these people.
Yeah.
Based on the promos we've seen. If that's the case, bring Beth back. Let her dye her hair black. Let her be the same kind of character. Her and Rhea can go at it constantly. Have her in a corner. It works with Maurice being constantly in Miz's corner. She's not full. Yep. She's not in the ring. It works. It's always been done. But then you have the thing of Beth can also step up to anyone that needs to be stepped up to, and it not look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when Eminem were a tag team, and then you'd have Melina like jumping on the apron to Kane, and it just looked ridiculous because Kane's 7 foot tall and Melina looked about 4 foot tall in comparison. Beth's a relatively tall woman. She's eliminated men in rumbles by snogging them. That's probably not a good example, but we'll move on. But you know
that
what I
was
mean?
Khali, though, to be fair.
Exactly.
And he is a sex machine.
That's true. He is the Punjabi
We would all
boy.
kiss Khali if we could.
I would. But yeah, I think that would be cool. Prediction-wise, I'm going to go with Judgment Day because I think it has to be Judgment Day. If Judgment Day lose, then you need to disband them.
Yeah.
I think the only way they can lose is if Edge costs them the match, and then you could still keep that going. Then if Edge came back and cost them it with someone else. Imagine
if Judgment Day win, celebrating as they do, they then start to attack the Mysterios. New Edge comes down. Spear into Damian Priest, couple of trade punches with Balor, spears Finn Balor, they roll out the way, and Rhea's like pulling them away as they go up the apron. Mysterios get up to like thank him, spear
to Dom, but not Ray. Dom takes the pin, so Edge is like, you messed up, kid. You know, like that.
I just think that'd be cool.
Have you little shit.
Have Edge come back and just be like, no allies.
Yeah.
No illusion whether he's heel or face.
Yeah.
Just Edge, just like, fuck it. You can all that. Yeah. Like, just. But I think it has to be Judgment Day. Because if Judgment Day lose, then they've got no momentum. They're basically another retribution.
Yeah.
All the promise, zero execution.
This is their first pay-per-view fight as well, isn't it?
As
without
this
Edge,
team,
Without Edge,
yeah. So
because the last one was Priest and Edge versus Balor and AJ, wasn't it? So
yeah.
But yeah, so do you want to do offer your prediction for it, Danny?
Yeah, it's going to be a clean sweep, isn't it? Everyone's going to be on Judgment Day's side of voting.
Yeah, to be fair, I can't see any justification for the Mysterios winning. I do think we're going to get the Dominic versus Ray program set up.
Well, then wouldn't that scream Mania? Wouldn't they hold off?
Yeah. But it depends on how they do it. I think, this is the thing, and this is the hope. With good writing, they could start this off now and leave that till Mania. Ray could be put on the shelf for 6 months as a result of it. He's already said he's like winding down his career. He wants to wind down his career. So this could be how it starts. Dom could turn on him. Yeah. Ray could not do anything, and then all of a sudden we could get some of those. Can you remember when someone would be put on the shelf, and like Shawn Michaels, for example, in 2002, where we get the videos of him at home in his wheelchair talking about Triple H and like making promises. Imagine if we got something like that, and it's Ray at home on a sofa with his wife and daughter.
Saying, he's had a
rehabbing the surgery on my ninth knee. My left knee is doing all right for the 9th time, and then it should be ready for WrestleMania. Dominic.
That'd work though, because then you could have Ray return at the Rumble.
Yeah, eliminate Dom.
Eliminate Dom, and then like Ray gets
just target him.
Ray get to like the last 5. Dom comes back and throws Ray out. Yeah,
and then we get the match at Mania where Ray puts his mask and career on the line, loses, and then we get Dom as Prince Mysterio full on.
I wouldn't even say he puts his mask on the line. I'd say he puts his career.
Just his career, yeah.
Dom beats him, rips the mask off, puts it on, and then that's where we get,
Or
Prince
we get the Prince Mysterio thing, because that was rumoured years ago that they'd apparently already had the mask design and all this before he even made his proper debut. Because there was all the rumours that he was going to go to NXT first under that name and that they trademarked Prince Mysterio. Maybe that's the persona that he switches to as soon as he joins Judgment Day. He comes out on Raw the night after SummerSlam as Prince Mysterio or whatever, just to maybe just to piss Ray off even more because he's not been given the mask, but he's wearing it anyway to be a dick.
Yeah.
Which could work, to be fair.
Again, we're doing the classic thing of all these great possibilities for nothing. Yeah, I know.
And then we get all upset when none of them happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's another clean sweep for Judgment Day. Yeah. So now we'll go to one that I can only see going one way, but I hope it doesn't. Liv Morgan defending the SmackDown Women's title against Ronda Rousey.
Who do you want to start it?
Danny.
I can't see him doing like a Bianca thing and making Liv drop it so quick, surely.
But do you
He
think
did it with Nikki Cross last year though?
And do you think one-on-one?
Oh no, one-on-one Ronda Rousey would kick ass.
That's the match, isn't it? So
Yeah, but on a creative point of view, you don't know what Triple H is going to produce, do you? Do you know what I mean? So
this match has been down for longer than Triple H has been around.
Yeah. It's his take on it now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he could change. He could veto the original plans.
He could, but I also wouldn't consider this a Triple H creative pay-per-view at all.
No.
I think from the next pay-per-view.
I think in terms of reality, you'd
Clash
expect
at the
Ronda
Castle.
Rousey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in terms of it being a storyline, I think they'd let Liv hold on to that title a little bit longer. Surely.
So you're going with Liv?
I'm going to go with Liv.
Okie dokie.
My issue with this is that no one cares about Ronda when she doesn't have the belt.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about Ronda when she doesn't have the belt. No one's going to be excited if Ronda lost this and then next, like Clash at the Castle, it's Ronda versus Carmella or something. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
The only way I can see Liv doing this is if Natalya comes out and they go more like further with that.
Yeah.
Even if it's a distraction, I'm gonna say Liv out of the hopes.
I know.
I'm gonna say Liv from like a roll up because of a distraction or something.
Yeah. So essentially,
the roll up has been the deadliest move in wrestling for the past 60 years. So I'm gonna go with Liv. I don't think it's gonna be Liv. I'm going with my heart over my head in this one, which has never worked out well for me in past predictions. Well, I just think Liv's always been that person who's been fingertips from the title.
Yeah.
And always fumbled it. So I'm going to have to go. I'm going with Liv out of hope, but I'm not confident.
Yeah. Well, I think this is going to be another clean sweep because obviously Danny said Liv, you've said Liv. I want Liv to win. I think logically, like you were saying, the Ronda thing is more than likely going to happen, but I want Liv to win, so that's what I'm going with. To counter Danny's point of them taking it off her so quickly when they've just been hyping it up. Last year they did it with Nikki Cross, Nikki ASH. She won the title. They made it after successfully cashing in the Money in the Bank and stuff. They made a huge deal of it, and it lasted for a month. And she was on like all the promotional rounds saying about how important it is to have the title and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, so there's precedent for them doing this, and then it's a month and it's over.
Yeah, it's like
so
Bianca and Becky, isn't it? That happened. So.
Oh yeah. But so we could see that. Or the other thing is this could be the start of some long-term booking. Liv could lose, and then we have a win the Rumble. You know what I mean? If they have like a 6-month period of building her up to try and get back on that level, and then she ends up winning the Women's Rumble. There's no other real credible women on the roster to win the Rumble now because most of them have already won it or been women's champion.
We didn't mention in the news that Triple H is now reaching out and negotiating with Naomi and Sasha.
I didn't know that. I hadn't seen that news.
To try and bring them back. So if that was the case, and they said, all right, look, we'll bring you guys back. Naomi, you can return here. Sasha, we'll bring you back and give you the Rumble.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. Yeah, obviously. Or Bayley return. To be fair, Bayley could return and win the Rumble.
Bayley needs to come back.
Bayley needs to return. I've never missed a woman this much, and I've spent time away from my fiance.
I've never missed a woman this much, and I've got 2 kids.
I mean, the fact you've got 2 kids tells us that you don't miss. Yeah. All right. Well, moving on next, we've got what the fuck?
We've got 4. Oh no, we've got 3 more matches, haven't we, to talk about? Or 4 more matches? No, 4 more matches to talk about.
Yeah, sorry. Danny sent me a football transfer that just doesn't make sense. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. I know this is probably that scenario where it's like if Becky loses, she don't get another title shot kind of deal. But yeah, I don't know. I think we've seen this match too many times, and we've seen the same outcome too many times.
This is going to be an I don't care match, isn't it?
I wouldn't go that far. I just think it's a match that we've seen a few times, and we've seen the same result a few times.
Yeah,
I think I think it's got to be Becky. But then again, she's also at that level where losing doesn't matter.
Yeah. So you're going Becky.
I'm going to go Becky.
Yeah. I'm going to say Bianca, based on the storyline history of the whole thing going into Mania. Was Bianca saying to Becky repeatedly, "Hey, this isn't your return story, comeback story. It's mine, based on what you did to me at SummerSlam last year." I can't see them doing 2 for 2 for Becky beating Bianca at SummerSlam.
I think they could, because they've...
Unless it's... And then we get Becky versus Ronnie at the next pay-per-view. Which
is credible, but then I don't know. But I think they've built Bianca to the point where she is very credible. She's incredibly strong. She's great in the ring. So I think we could be in the midst of the Becky Bianca being the next multi-year rivalry.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, for the women's side of things,
they need it.
What have we had recently? And I mean, since the women's revolution, we've had things like Bayley and Sasha and Charlotte, and basically the 4 horsewomen is the multi-year thing between the 4 of those. And it's rare that someone else rises to the top and beats them, all of them or whatever. And actually, you know what? Yeah. So I'm going to go for Bianca, because even though I can see them doing Becky now, giggity.
Live on pay-per-view, PG-14.
Live on premium live event. Yeah, I'm going to go for Bianca. I'm going to stick with that, just because otherwise we have the thing of we get to the end of the show and we've all got the same score.
And it all comes down to Corbin McAfee.
Yeah. Which goes to a double DQ.
Yeah.
I've circled Bianca already on my card.
So basically, if Bianca wins and McAfee wins, so far we'd be at a clean sweep. We'd be even. So sorry, if Bianca wins and Corbin wins, or whatever, we'd end up on the same score between the 3 of us.
Yep.
Could happen.
Move on now. Bobby versus Theory for the United States. I've got a theory, and that is that Theory.
Name is Austin.
Yeah, that Theory is going to win the US and then subsequently fail the cash-in.
That could happen, yeah.
Which I don't want to happen. What I'd love to happen would be Theory can lose the US title match. It doesn't matter now. He's got the briefcase.
Yeah.
Remember when Seth had the briefcase and he just lost left, right, and center, got made a fool of left, right, and center, but it didn't matter because he has that, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, for his storyline, it was like a case of he had that attitude of I don't care if I'm winning this, and he'd walk out of matches and stuff from time to time because
exactly.
What's the point of when he's already earned his spot?
I think we need to have it where it could even be in this. Like Roman and Brock in a last man standing, it's going to be a brutal match. No DQ. They're going to be all over the shop, going through announce tables, going through barricades, right?
Yeah.
You can have it that Roman or Brock wins, whatever the case is, they're going to be beat down. We could have a cash-in tonight because it would make sense after this kind of caliber of a match.
Yeah.
Say Roman wins, Theory runs down, attacks him with whatever weapons have been used or lying around, beats the crap out of him. Let's even get him have a hit on Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Right? Cashes in, picks off both titles. He's won. He's cheering with both titles, and then have Roman be outside. Paul Heyman comes up behind him, grabs the Universal, and it's like, you cashed in for the WWE. The
because
tribal
you're a
chief.
Raw superstar.
Yeah, you're a Raw superstar. The tribal chief is still
you're reigning defending
champion.
Universal champion. Yeah.
Literally, have that. That would be perfect for that. This does foreshadow what my main event pick is.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Theory.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm going with Bobby Lashley because I don't think Theory needs to win the US for anything when he's got the money in the bank.
Yeah. Who next? Danny, do you want to go next or do you want me to? Or
yeah, I've gone for Bobby as well because, like Connor said, Theory's got the briefcase. So if he fails, then you could potentially see a cash-in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can we just address something? Are you waving around a Harry Potter wand?
A pen. It's a pen.
Is it from
Harry Potter? Pen like Harry Potter wand?
Yes, it is from Harry Potter.
So it is a Harry Potter wand.
So it's a Harry Potter wand.
In a pen, yeah.
I don't care if it's in a fucking sandwich. It's still a Harry Potter one. I just wanted to clarify that I was seeing that. Carry on.
Yeah, you are
Rory.
seeing her.
We weren't insulting you about it. We were
I
just,
just
like,
wanted
curious.
to make. I just let
you know it's a
Is
pen.
that what we think it
Yeah,
is?
it's a one.
Did his
I'm
brains
just
just
happy
yell,
to see you
"Expelliarmus!"
Yeah, I was just like, okay. Rory, Lashley theory.
I'm going to be different to pair of you. I can see Theory winning it and cashing in and walking away with the WWE title and the US Championship.
That would be pretty great. Although, I don't know if we'll see that because it's almost mirroring Seth.
I think that's why we'll see it.
I don't know.
And then Seth will go after him. But the other thing is, this is something that I actually appreciated about Raw. You know, for weeks, since before Mania, Theory's looked like a bitch. Sort of thing. They've been making him like really whiny. They had him hiding, running into McMahon's office and stuff like that. They were doing all these bits and pieces where we know from watching NXT that Theory is actually a really decent, talented wrestler. And when they let him shine in these on pay-per-view, premium live events, we've seen decent matches with him. But what they did on Raw this week was they had him talking to the Bloodline, and the Bloodline take the mickey out of him, go to leave, and as they left, Jey Uso slapped him on the back of the head, and rather than just like leave that, Theory was like, "I'm not taking that," and just went for Jey with all the Bloodline around. Like the most, you know what I mean? That's like one of the ballsiest things you can do when you've got four people around you. One of them's like, "Why don't you just?" No, he's having it and just plonking him one as hard as he can. I thought that was great. I thought that it's like they've suddenly, because obviously I know before he was getting the rub as being Vince McMahon's pet project anyway, but it's like now they've gone
acknowledging the fact that before he entered the WWE, he was the guy in
was
Evolve.
Good. Yeah, and that's
there's a reason they signed him from Evolve.
Yeah, so it's like they're building him back up. So I think if they had him win the US Championship clean, that would do wonders for him. And then if he won and if he did cash in successfully, I think if he lost the US Championship match and then failed to cash in, he'd look like a massive bitch. But if he won the US Championship and then failed to cash in, or cashed in and won the one, you've then got the argument of, yeah, but he worked his ass off and beat Bobby Lashley earlier in the evening. So it's sort of credible. You know, like when the faces would cash in the Money in the Bank, but they'd have it the same night or whatever, and that sort of thing, where it's like the scenario makes him look strong. So I think that's sort of what they could go with. I'm going to say Theory, although I like Bobby Lashley and I'd like him to keep the US title, but I'm going to say Theory.
The thing is, and I think I've said this before, the Money in the Bank winner's briefcase has lost its meaning.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds daft when like Big E won it, cashed in successful. The Miz
but
won
Big E
it.
didn't need it.
No,
that was the thing.
They gave it to Otis and that was ridiculous. And then before that you had Brock, who, excuse me.
Yeah, to be fair, that was fantastic.
Well, he wasn't even in the match, which is what the whole thing was, because by that logic of that match, anybody could have walked down and pulled it and just won it.
Yeah.
Right. Then before was Braun, who I don't think should have won a Money in the Bank match to become champion when you're a monster.
Yeah, and then didn't
Before
manage
that-
to cash it in either. That was the funny thing. He
Exactly.
wasted his cash in.
Before that was Baron, who
Wasted his cash
wasted his cash in. Before that was Ambrose, who did it, and that was the night all the Shield were champions. That was great.
Yep.
Before
Was it
that was
Sandow before that who lost it?
before Ambrose, it was Sheamus. He
Was it
cashed
Sheamus
in.
and Sandow though at that point? Because they had two, didn't they?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, it wasn't at the
all
point
I-
where they had two champions.
No, Sandow was 2013.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Sheamus was 2015, and that's when Roman finally won the title. Sheamus
Yes,
came out and did it, and then had the
Yeah, because it's when they'd only got one belt for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember now. Yeah,
Before that was Rollins, then we had Orton, then it was Sandow.
but
and then before that
before,
was Cena.
in between the Rollins and thing, it was we had Cena win it. Well, it was for the title and not for an actual Money in the Bank contract because it was
Yeah.
when Daniel Bryan was injured, wasn't it? So
Yeah. So it's been a while since it's been ages since the Money in the Bank made a star. Like Big E didn't need the Money in the Bank. It didn't make him a star. He
and
could have had a match
it
and won
wasn't in
it.
front of a live crowd. That's the other thing.
Exactly. The Miz, former champion anyway. Brock doesn't need it. Braun, I know he didn't win it with the Money in the Bank, but he didn't need it. Corbin should have won it with the Money in the Bank. Ambrose didn't need Money in the Bank. Sheamus had already been a former champion, didn't need Money in the Bank.
John Cena. Seth used it well.
Seth used it well. That is
well, that was 9 years ago.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah.
Sandow
Sorry, 8 years ago.
Would have been a future star. Cena didn't need it, didn't win anyway. Ziggler was amazing.
Yeah.
The pop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
And Daniel Bryan was great when he did it as well, which was the year before Ziggler, wasn't it? And then
exactly. So it's been a long time since it made a star, which is always my argument. Like when we had so many consistent Rumbles with former winners winning the Rumble. Yeah. In my opinion, the Rumble should make a star. Every now and then have a 2-time winner, that's fine.
Yeah.
But at one point we went years where it was.
Oh yeah, we did the podcast, didn't we? Where we literally went through all the Rumble winners, and it was just like,
And I know there was a time when Hogan was winning it constantly, Austin, Michaels.
Yeah, but they were the eras where that actually made sense for that.
Yeah.
Michaels won it back to back, but didn't win the title the first time. When he won it the second year was when he won the title. The first year he failed. Yeah, so that was like he won the Rumble and then lost at Mania, and at that point that was rare. Yeah. It was you win the Rumble, you go to Mania, you win the title. It's pretty much guaranteed. And then Michaels went, actually, no, he's done all that and he's still lost. I thought that was great. Austin, he won it in 97, didn't he? And in 97, he ended up getting screwed out of the shot, so he didn't have the title shot. He had Bret Hart instead in the I Quit match. So, do you know what I mean? At least you can justify the multiple ones with them. Hogan was in the era where you didn't win the Rumble to go to Mania.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's me and Danny on Lashley, you on Theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Next, we've got the tag team match for the undisputed tag team titles. I'm not going to lie. I wish this wasn't an undisputed tag team title match. I wish it was for one of them. I wish it was for the Raw tag titles, but whatever. It's the Usos versus the Street Profits. And WWE opening that forbidden door with a special guest referee, the man who will be teaming with Jay Lethal in Ric Flair's final match in August. Yep, he's wrestling again, ladies and gentlemen. J-E-F-F. J-A-E-T-T. Slap nuts himself, Jeff Jarrett.
And victim of many, many a drunken phone call from yours truly, because he made the mistake of giving me his number years ago. So he gets called. Can you remember when I rang you when I was on Zoom to you and started singing his With My Baby Tonight too? Do you remember the first year you were in TVF? It was a drunken Christmas time. Yeah. I literally answered, who is this? It's just started. Yeah, it was magical.
Yeah, random special guest referee, but at the same time, I'm glad that it's somebody impartial and isn't gonna.
I think that's deliberate. He's gonna screw someone.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's Jeff Jarrett.
He's been saying repeatedly, "I'm gonna call this down the line." You liar, Jeff.
His whole career has been screwing people, including Vince, for $260,000. But it's I like the fact that
Vince has now reciprocated with like many of his assistants.
Yeah. But I like the fact it's not like Paul Heyman or Roman, or they haven't, you know what I mean? It's
Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn could have been an option with him doing the Bloodline Association.
Or like Rikishi, or like they could have done it where Roman, swindle shit because he can with Paul Heyman. I'm gonna go with the Street Profits because I think the Usos don't need to be tag champs even with the Bloodline. And also. What the fuck are you doing?
That sounded like he was inserting that Harry Potter one somewhere.
It did, didn't it?
It did. You were actually getting the smacking sound.
I was moving my microphone out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, all right. I feel...
the wand.
There you go. The Wingardium, not my ass. The Usos could... I know they've got like they're counting how long they've been champs and all that stuff, but I don't think they're going to break any records.
I think they've already got the record for the SmackDown tag title, though, haven't they?
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to. Yeah,
so just leave it at that. And 8-time SmackDown, 8-time tag champs, fine, leave it.
But to be fair,
lose it and win them again.
This could be another thing where the Street Profits beat them.
Yeah,
they walk out with all the titles, and Theory cashes in and walks out with both titles, and then on Raw. Paul Heyman comes out. It's like, no, that you cashed in for the for the WWE title, and you only won these titles, and in that way you still got the bloodline with their titles, but then you also move away from it just being centric of one. That's how I do it. I'm gonna go with the Street Profits just because, again, it's getting to the point. I know they've won belts in NXT, Raw, and SmackDown.
Yeah.
But it's getting to the point against the Usos where if they don't win them, you need to stop putting them against each other.
Plus, it's like the Usos have had 8 tag title runs. Street Profits have had 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown, 1 NXT. Give them another one. They can have another one. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing stopping it. And I think what you were saying with the title thing makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for the Street Profits. As much as I love seeing the 1D.
Yeah.
And I know no one's kicked out of it, just like no one kicked out of the 3D.
Yeah.
Except
I'm just going to casually throw it in there that I'm agreeing with you, so I don't actually need to say anything about this match either. So, because you pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything there. So
that's what I do. So, Danny, what's your prediction for the tag match?
I'm going to say the Usos. I've just got a feeling that they're just going to give it to them. So I would like the Street Profits to win, but the fact that it's both sets of titles makes me think that it's just going to stay with them.
Fair. All right. Main event time. Last man standing match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
Are we doing this and then whether there's a cash-in as a separate prediction?
Yes. I'm going to go Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I'm going Roman.
Straight up.
Clean sweep.
Yeah,
it's the biggest match on there, but we don't really need to dissect it that much, do we?
No, we don't. And I think
he's got to hold it till Mania, isn't he?
I think the whole Brock walking out, and I know he came back. Granted, you could argue that did he come back because they said, look, we're going to give you the title. But then again, I don't think Brock cares about the title. Brock doesn't care about the business. Brock cares about money.
Although, to be fair, there's certain times where, I know like when he was saying about Goldberg winning the title so that he could beat him off at Mania that time, which I know everyone hated the fact that happened to Kevin Owens' run. But you could see the justification of them doing that. So I think there's times where Brock, when he's motivated and everything, Brock does care to a degree, but it depends on what Brock we've got. And if Brock's still pissed off like he was on Friday, then he's not going to be motivated, Brock.
No, I think Roman is going to win. We're probably not going to see Brock for a while, or at least we'll probably see is him. I don't know how many matches he's got left in his contract. If we just say hypothetically he has 2 or 3 more, I reckon we'll see him have a match in the next 2 or 3, so that of his demand, so that it's over with.
The thing is,
if he is unhappy with Vince being gone, he doesn't need money. He's very much going to be the case, right? Fine, look, I know I'm in this contract, but next 3 pay-per-views, my matches, and then I'm out.
Yeah, the thing is, he probably hasn't got that many matches left.
No.
You look at how we were saying at Mania, this is the busiest year Brock's had.
Yeah.
Because he did day one. He did day one. He did the double duty at the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
The Elimination Chamber. Yeah. He did Mania. So he's already done 4 pay-per-view, 4 premium live events, but 5 matches across them. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen him do 5 pay-per-view matches in a year before.
No.
So this will be his 6th one. That means he's got an average of one in every 2 premium events this year, which is already his highest average since coming back in 2012. So I think you're right. I think this is him done.
How many Raws and SmackDowns he's appeared on?
Yeah, he's done lots this year. I think it has been his busiest year so far.
He might go up to Survivor Series and then just go.
I don't see the point. So I don't see why he'd want to do Survivor Series.
No, up to. That's what I mean.
I don't know.
That'd be it.
Clean sweep then for Roman.
Yep.
I'm gonna see. The thing is with trying to presume the cash in is that as much as it makes sense, it doesn't mean there's any chance of it happening.
No.
I think it's all gonna depend on the result of the US. Yeah. I think it's gonna, like Mania 31, Rollins lost to Orton earlier in the night. He then cashed in.
Yeah.
If Theory wins, I don't see him cashing in. So I'm gonna, on that premise, I went with Bobby. So I'm gonna go with there is gonna be a cash in, and I think this is the perfect time to have someone cash in on, no matter the winner of the match.
Yeah.
It's got to be massively physical. This is the only way that, so far with how they've built Theory can pin one of these guys. 1, 2, 3.
I've had a Boston idea, which has just occurred to me while we've been talking. Right, you were saying about the title swap thing, saying it's only for the one title and all this. What if Brock beats Roman, and then Heyman refuses to, and Heyman does the thing like you're saying, of no, you've only won the WWE title. Brock goes on a rampage, Usos run out and stuff, but he's already been through a last man standing match and gone through hell. Brock ends up put down. Theory cashes in. Theory walks out WWE champion.
That could work.
Yeah,
that could work.
That could work. But yeah, I'm gonna go with there is a cash in because I think I can't lay the logic out like that and then go with what I've already said.
I'm going with a cash in. Yeah.
Danny?
Yeah, like I said earlier, if Theory doesn't win the title, I think he's gonna cash in.
Yeah.
So
like I was saying, I think he's gonna get both. But, yeah.
All right. Well,
there we go.
Yeah, it's nearly an hour and a half.
I know. I was just saying, I was just thinking, it's one of our longest podcasts that we've done for a while. To be fair,
it's the first one we've done since Rumble, though, isn't it? So it's a long time. Didn't
we do a Mania one or like hype? No, we did. It was Chamber was the last one that the three of us did the Chamber prediction.
Yeah.
And then I know that the Chamber result put everyone off doing any more. So, but yeah, the joys. So. Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's been real, guys.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, all that shit. Stay tuned for Connor's updated wrestling channel that's going to be coming out soon as well. While we've done this on the TVM channel, I'm assuming that once Connor's channel goes live, we'll be doing these sorts of podcasts over on his new YouTube network. Is that right, dude?
I mean, if you want to, at the end of the day, this is still your channel. If you want to do stuff for it, you can still do stuff for it. I'm just doing sort of my own thing so that because of life stuff, I'm kind of bored a lot.
Yeah.
So it just gives me something to sit there and not like turn on a PlayStation and then sit on the PlayStation main menu for 2 hours and turn it off.
Yeah.
It's more for my own sanity than anything.
No, I know what you mean. I mean, look how busy we got when I was on furlough. So,
yeah, exactly.
It's like even had a whole comic book run published. So,
yeah, exactly.
So completely get it, dude. But no, I'd be more than happy to not be doing stuff on this outlet and be doing it on yours. So can take that shit to the bank. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned for more news. Stay tuned for a little bit of seriousness. There's a load of crap going around about us by one of our former contributors. I've been trying not to comment on it, and I won't properly comment on it due to me seeking legal action. But I know that
I can talk. I can talk about it legally.
Frustration.
There will be a video coming out, just laying everything out on the line, referring to everything, and hopefully just
clearing the air. Basically.
Clearing the air, and hopefully the former contributor can see this and stop running its mouth
before things go any further, because at the end of the day there's a lot of slander and defamation going out there about us at the moment, and they are things that we can genuinely legally pursue, especially with all the screenshots that people have been showing me. So I'm looking forward to that.
So there'll be that.
I mean, I'm looking forward to your video, and also I'm looking forward to the whole thing, to be fair.
Yeah, it just it needs to be laid out because it's ridiculous on
indeed
many different counts. We're all grown adults, and the fact is one of the older ones is now acting like a child,
and they're older than all of us.
Yeah, it's exactly my point.
Yeah,
so sad to end this video on a downer, but keep an eye out for that. I've been Connor, the annual purgist of Team Venom. Be sure to look out for statements of other
people leaving. Yeah.
That has been.
I'm about to kiss my Star Wars podcast goodbye, aren't I?
The Star Wars podcast is dead.
I mean,
Connor is all that remains. But yeah, I've been Connor. That's been Rory. That has been Dantos Escobar, aka Diabito, aka Big Danny
Daniel
Boy.
Keith Orton.
Danny Keith. Thank you for watching TVM. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep an eye out on
All that stuff.
the channel, because there'll be loads of stuff coming on and all that jazz. I've got free time. Let's do this shit. I'm back with a bang. See you all later.